In this video I'm going to be making akara. To make akara you need to have peeled your beans. You can watch a separate video on how to peel beans, and you can also use white beans. White beans is popularly used in Nigeria to make akara, but I'm going to be using brown beans basically because I love to use brown beans. Now nothing is stopping you from using brown beans, just that people like to use white beans. And so this, after peeling for like 5 minutes, I'm going to be blending it with my blender. You need to have a very strong blender to do this. And also after blending that, I'm also going to be adding my scotch bonnet, my onions, and a bit of salt. So I'm going to be adding salt as well to that. We need oil to fry, of course we need oil, and a blender. So I've got my frying pot there, as you can see. Ooh. Now you have to ensure that the oil is not too hot, because if it's too hot, what happens then is the akara is going to be brown at the back, but it's not going to be well cooked inside. So what we want to do is we want a very brownish golden akara that's going to be very delicious. So stay tuned and thanks for watching. So I'm going to start with blending my beans. As I said, this is 350 grams of beans that I peeled. How many akara can I make using that? I really don't know, but we will find out in a minute. I'm going to add another half cup of water into it just to allow it to blend properly. At this point, some people like to add the pepper to it. I don't like making mine like that. I always like to separate my pepper and onions and mix it later. But some people like to add the onions and add the pepper and blend everything together. You can make it like that, but I like to make mine separately. So what I would do, following my step, is I'm going to pour this into a bowl now. I'm going to add a little bit of water to rinse this, a tiny little bit. Blended it for 5 minutes. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to stir this for another 10 minutes. And stirring is very important at this stage to make sure that everything is well dissolved and all blended together, and it actually softens the beans itself, the blended mixture. Cut my onions, and I'm going to cut my onions and scotch bonnet into sliced pieces and add that to that. Then yeah, we can add some salt. The salt is going to be at the last stage. Yeah, I'm going to slice my onions. When cutting your scotch bonnet, you have to be very careful. You might want to rub your hands with some palm oil or wear some gloves, but I just like doing it straight away. I don't mind anyway, so because they're very, very pepperish. I've added my pepper and onions into the mixture, so I'm going to be stirring that. Remember the chopped pepper and onions. As you can see, that's the chili and the onions. I've added them there in now. The lovely part is when for every bite you take in this akara, you will definitely come across the scotch bonnet and the onions. That's how delicious it's going to look like. And as you can see, it's not really watery. I really don't want it watery, as I say. And I'm also going to, remember, I'm going to add my salt as well. 50 grams of 350 grams of beans. I'm going to be adding salt. That's 2 teaspoons of salt. I'm going to mix that together and taste. I've added salt to this and I love the taste, so I'm not going to be adding the Maggi again. I'm just going to leave that out. But if you like, you might want to add Maggi to it as well. But before you do that, make sure you dissolve it. Mix some water and dissolve the Maggi before pouring it into it. Just to show you that you can go through the process as well. But I'm not going to be adding Maggi because I've added salt. I just want to keep it simple. Remember to turn the Akara. This is lovely, isn't it? Frequently, so that will allow it to fry properly. That is the Akara. The Akara is ready now, and thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Thank you.